Okay, it's 4 o'clock. It's 4 o'clock. Bless you. Bless you. Hi, Kim. Right, let's shift some of this excess rubbish out of the way. Hope you're all okay. Hi, Helen. Hi, Jan. Hi, Glynis. Early bird today, Ladybird. An early bird for our lovely Glynis. Hello. Hello, hello. I hope we're all okay today. Hi, Gillian. You alright, lovely lady? Good afternoon. Good evening. Hello, hello. Right, let's just tidy my desk a little bit. Oh dear. Right, let's shift that over there. Hopefully Waffle won't knock it over. Oh gosh, and you only bought 3. Good for you. Proud of you. Sue Russin, hello. Hi Jackie, alright lovely. Oh, I've got my pop. I'm now using my Mr. Steve so being so noisy. Mr. Vanger cup because my other one got smashed. Hi Shelley. Yes, I'm now using my lovely Stavanger Norway mug. Hopefully that'll last a little bit longer. We don't do very well with mugs, do we, Steve? We're a bit haphazard with mugs. Glynis, Goody's not even going to a craft fair. That's what good is. Not just buying one. Goody's not buying any at all. Right, where's me? Oh. Where is my ink pad? There it is. I'll need that for later. Hiya, Jill. Hello, hello. Okay, so today I will be using my Journaling Juniors woohoo set number 1. I know, very exciting. Oh, it is such a mess up on this desk. It really is. Oh, good. Good, good. Get back into crafting, Jackie. That's what we like. Yes, so I'm using Journaling Juniors set 1, and I'm using 4A and 4B, which is the large envelope template and the journaling card that goes with it. And I'm going to make a mini book, a little mini envelope book, which is why the title is Envelopes, Envelopes, Envelopes. I'm also going to christen and use, oh gosh, Sue, 3 pads in your flip-flap journal. That's a lot. That's a lot. I'm using the Stamperia House of Roses. So this is the 10 double-sided sheets. I'm only going to use it sparingly because I don't want to cut into it much. I've also got some paper cutouts that I may well use a couple of to decorate. And I've also going to use some of my gorgeous purchases by that I bought yesterday when I went to visit our Jill, because she made me buy stuff. I'll tell you, she made me buy things, Steve, and you know what that means. It means naughty things. So I'm going to use some of my plastic flowers that I bought yesterday from Country Baskets. We did go on a little expedition, so I think I'm going to use those on the front cover because I rather like them. So this is just a selection of some of the ones that I've got. That's very exciting. Yeah, she did make me buy them. You know very well you made me buy them. She's naughty. She's very, very naughty. Okay, let's get cracking. Hopefully we'll get to double figures. I know I'm a bit later today. It's just that I was expecting a friend to come round for a little coffee this afternoon. However, she had to postpone, so I could have done my live at 3. But it's fine. It just means that I can try and do a quick live today. Yes, hopefully.
And you had no excuse not to prepare.
Huh?
You had no excuse not to prepare.
I had no excuse not to prepare. Why? Because it was at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I was expecting Tracy, wasn't I?
She didn't come.
She didn't come, did she? So I was still, like, you're on edge, aren't you, waiting?
But you...
I know, but I know what I'm doing. I've planned and prepped. You keep to your own side, you, Mr. Interference. Go and open your comics. Gosh, did you hear that? No excuse not to prep. When have I ever prepped? I didn't prep that blooming talk, and I had that in my diary for 12 months, Steve. Right, I need to just let me just use my pencil sharpener on my pencil, because I need that. That's the one we went to, Jackie, the one near Boothstown. Yeah, we might have also just gone to the meat factory as well. I'm not saying nothing. But anyway, an ugliness, see, being heckled by Steve, just don't need it. Okay, lovelies, right, let's get cracking. See, somebody's dropped off already. We had 7, now we've only got 6.
Sorry.
You don't want to know, Helen. Don't hear it. Don't just pretend you never heard about it. You don't need to know about anything about Bents at all. Don't you worry about it. Right, let me just move my camera slightly. Hopefully that's levelled things up. Okay, right, let's go in. So I'm going to draw around this on an A4. It's like thick copy paper. I think it's a pink frog. It's not a card, but it's not really a paper. It's sort of in between. So it's quite nice to make envelopes with. So I'm going to draw around this 4 times to make 4 envelopes, but these envelopes are going to be the pages. Hi Denise, you alright? So it's going to be a little mixture of pocket pages and flaps. That's what we're going for. I best put my score lines in. Now I've just sharpened my pencil. So it's nice to be back on a Friday. It's been blooming ages, hasn't it? Oh, Jackie, well then that's it then. You'll just have to keep done till the end. Gosh. Yeah, there's been some beautiful projects made from that Flip Flap album, I have to say. And don't forget, if you want to join, even if you've missed the live, the video is still there for you to watch. Hi Mo, you alright, lovely? Don't forget, we've got other workshops coming up. This coming Tuesday is the second part of the mixed media, which is all about the rule of 3, all about composition. And then a week on Sunday, it will be the fantasy journal. The fantasy journal, and I'll be using, I think, set 8. But again, you don't need to have set 8 if you don't want, but if you do want to use that or get it to have in to make more of, you can do. So that's 3. Oh, that's nice, Jill. You've been using your Juniors 1. Well, this is a nice little project. You don't have to put a cover on this. This could be just a little accessory in any of your journals. I will use cardstock, I think, for the inserts because they're a little bit too flappy. Yeah, they're a bit too flappy. Steve's, I think Steve's what's it's playing up today is Hay Fever. Hi Connie. Hello lady. Hello, welcome. So I'll just cut these out really quickly. They won't take long. I like to do things real time for you because it gives you an idea of how long things take. Oh, well, Jill, you can always watch on catch up, lovely. Yeah, I was going to do it on the Saturday and then I swapped for the Sunday. But I think I was originally going to do it on the Sunday. But anyway, it's on the Sunday. So that's one. I can't believe how quickly this week's gone though already. Hi Stella, you alright, lovely? So for those that have just joined, I'm using my Journal It Junior set 1 and I'm going to make a little envelope journal with it. So all I've done, I've drawn around the big envelope template 4 times and these are going to be my pages for the journal. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. That's 3. Hi Caroline. Hello, hello, hello. Hi Ginny. Hello. You right now?
Yeah, I just took an antihistamine.
Okay. Okay. You gonna settle down now?
Try not to disturb you anymore.
Okay. Just be particularly loud today. That's all. It's just quite amusing. I'm not allowed to breathe when you're having your meetings with your work colleagues in the background going, oh, what's that noise? So it's just my wife breathing.
Very sensitive people.
Yeah, they are very sensitive people, aren't they? Okay, so that is all then, and while Sarah John isn't looking, shh, these are just going to go in the bin. Shush, 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 don't tell her. Don't tell her. Oh, naughty. Okay, so I'm going to fold these, and I'm going to fold them with the pencil mark on the outside, just so I know where the score line is. I should use my scoring tool, but haste is making me not do that. So all I'm going to do is just fold around all 4 of the lines to start with. Oh, I've missed one out there. I know you're sensitive people as well, exactly, but a little bit hardier. A little bit hardier. Anyway, it's the weekend now. Nice and relaxing. I've had quite a chill week really. So I've not had any markets or anything. So it's been I've tried to get a few admin jobs done. I've not finished all of them. I've still got a few bits and pieces to do. But it's been nice to sort of catch up on myself a little bit. And then tomorrow I've managed to get a last minute table at a local D-stash fair. So I'm just going to pop some bits in a couple of bin bags and take them. See what I can get. I'm trying not to buy anything while I'm there. Really trying, because there's somebody there with wool. It's not been good. So that, Ginny, that's tomorrow at Slime with Hess Memorial. It starts at 12 till 4, and then I've got, my mum's got a pantomime tomorrow night. and she's playing the evil stepmother in Cinderella, so it's massive big dress rehearsal today for her, and then it's the pantomime tomorrow night, and then Sunday afternoon. Oh, Helen, don't be doing that. I know, I always fancy doing that from that, you know, that telly programme where that woman goes up to random strangers and says, oh, can I have a rummage in your boots? I know, but I've got so much wool. Oh, you're travelling to open the caravan. Very nice, Kim. That'd be lovely. Lots of nice photographs, I hope. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is start to ink a little bit of it. Because I don't want to use lots of paper, lots of my scrapbook paper, I'm going to ink quite a bit of it, to be honest. So what I'm going to do is fold this back to start with, and then with my scissors I'm just going to angle them so that there's like a little corner cut off, just to make a little angled side like that. It's just easier to get my card inserts in and out. So I've always got the long end is going to be the bit that folds up, so that's how the pocket's going to have, that's how the envelope's going to be. The long end is going to be stuck to the flaps, and then all I'm doing, I'm just cutting from the bottom to that corner, just a little corner bit off, just to angle that, and it just makes it a little bit easier because of how I'm going to construct my pages to get my inserts in and out. So let's just fold all of those down. So I've not glued anything yet, I'm just trimming. Okay, some of my angles are a bit longer than the others, so what I'm going to do is just make them all level. So I've done them from the bottom of that point there where I folded that up. I'm going to just trim them all. Oh, Glynis, it's rubbish, isn't it, your internet? So I'm using the top of that flap there as the guide, just to cut a diagonal line to the corner, and I've not stuck those down just yet because I just want to ink everything first. So I've used that line and then just cut a diagonal. It doesn't matter if it's not completely even, because it will still look fantabulous even if it's a little bit wonky donkey when it's all put together. That's it, that'll do. Right, so I've got my VersaFine Fallen Leaves. So what I'm just going to do is just ink round everything at the moment. I'm going to ink down the edges and the top. And then what I'm also going to do is just use my little I've got like a circle punch. I'm just going to cut it so that there's a little half circle coming out the side there. That's just behind me. It's behind you. So this is my little 3/4 of an inch punch. I don't think that's going to be big enough. I'm just looking. Let me try and find my bigger one. I've done a bit of a tidy up in this drawer. And let that be a lesson to you. Don't do it. Don't do it. I must have it on my desk. I must have it somewhere on my desk. if I can't find it, that one I'll have to do. No, it's fine. I'll just use that little one. So I'm just going to guesstimate halfway across that little envelope, and then I've just punched a little thumb tab there just so that it's easy to get my little bits and pieces out. So let's just ink all around these, all around the edges. But it's just a different way of using these templates to actually make a little journal. So don't forget as well, I will upload all these videos that I'm doing onto YouTube. So if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please do so. It would be marvellous. I'm currently about 133 subbies, so it would be quite nice to get to around 5 million, obviously in the next 2 weeks. I don't think that's going to happen, but you never know. I'll put my YouTube channel link on one of the posts when I put the finished project picture on, if that's okay. Karen Higgins, how are you doing, darling? Have you opted now? Are you back at home, or are you waiting for it? So we'll could try and rendezvous, aren't we, darling? It's under Liz Wheeler Designs, but it's like Liz Wheeler Designs 60 something, or 1000's a magical number because you can. Well, I can go live now. I think I can record live videos, but 1000 is obviously a magical number. I mean, just to get to 500 would be brilliant for me, because I've not really played with YouTube, but now I've got to start downloading or uploading all my old YouTube, Facebook videos. I've sort of got into it, so I am actually thinking about doing some YouTube lives as well, just so that it mixes it up a little bit. I might also get some new viewers that we can recruit across to the group, which would be lovely. Go, and the last one, and then there probably will be a little bit more inking once I've glued it all together. Oh, thanks, Helen. Thank you, my lovely lady. See, my guru's paying attention today. I know, that's why a few of you want the YouTube channel, so you can watch it back on the big screen. I was even contemplating doing some that were actually talking to the camera. See, that was a bit weird when I did the Zoom workshop the other week for the Flip Flap journal. It was just weird because I was on the screen and everybody that was there was on the screen. It just looked weird actually seeing yourself on the screen. But I suppose I'll get used to it. I know, yeah, Sue, those little, I did some little envelope ones, and I did that faux leather one. That's why I did some of them with the Junk Journal Junkies group, the Mixed Media Art one of Lou's. Sorry, I'm just having a pop. Okay, right, so I'm going to glue the first ones together. So what you need to do... So I've got the large one is the one that's going to be the closure there. That's going to be the flap, but it's not going to be like that in a minute. And all I'm doing is just a little line of glue just down the bottom of this little side flap here. So just a little line of glue, left and right, fold that up, and then that's that envelope made. I mean, you could... I mean, they're lovely just to decorate and put in your journals as they are, but I'm actually going to make a journal out of these envelopes. So I'm going to do exactly the same with the second one. And this is good if you don't want to use a lot of your paper stash and you just want to use either little oddments that you might have left, because you can get away with this. Oh, I've not inked those edges there. You didn't tell me, Glynis. You're supposed to be a supervisor as well. Oh, hello, Helen. Hello, Jason. Hello. I am watching. There we go. So I've got those two. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to score this at about 1/2 inch. I'm just going to double check because I have done a prototype. So I have been a little bit plummy, even though Steve said I wasn't very organised. So let's get, I'll just do it with my pencil and my ruler. So I just want to mark, oh, get lost, at 1/2 inch. About there and there, and then just score down that line. I know that's the thing, it's like just trying to learn a whole new set of technologies. I've just learned how to add a short on to YouTube as well, so it means I can upload all my reels. Okay, so I'll just reiterate, I've just scored 1/2 inch down that flap there, yep. So I've got that flap and folded it over. So what I want to do now is just add glue to that flap. Planny came up as clammy. Oh, these auto subtitles are hysterical, aren't they, sometimes? I do need to top my glue up though as well. I've used a lot of glue this week. I have made quite a lot of projects. And then I'm going to get my second envelope. And I'm going to stick that over the top. So it's just, no, I'm not sticking it over the top, I'm sticking it in, you fool. Bear with. I'm putting glue on there. I'm putting glue on the whole of this flap. Come on. Get yourself together. Right, so I've scored it at 1/2 inch there, and then I've glued the back of this flap completely. So what I'm going to do is just slot that into there, just up to where I've scored that line there. Yep, so where the crease of that envelope is, that's going to get folded over. Yep. So I've glued the back of that envelope, slotted it in just to where that crease is, but then this bit here I'm going to fold back on itself. So what it means is it's made a little 1/2 inch spine, and then if I just fold that back, I know it's not very straight, but it'll be fine when I fold it back. Oh look, it's not straight at all. I'm not bothered. When you do it straighter. So I'm just going to fold that back on itself so I can ink it. And give it another crease. So let's just fold that back. So the gap in between the two envelopes should be 1/2 inch. Yep. Like that. Just ink that bit. Okay, phew. So what I should have now is a little a little folder like with a little 1/2 inch spine down the back that has 2 pocket pages on either side. So does that make sense? I'll do that again, but I won't glue it in. So that was there. I've scored that 1/2 inch. Then that one, I've glued the back of that flap and shoved it in up to that 1/2 inch mark. Yeah, does that make sense? So where that crease is, that lines up with your sort of your 1/2 inch flap. So you push this flap in right until that halfway, that 1/2 inch flap. So hopefully that makes sense. So that's for the first 2 pages. Yeah. So I'm going to glue these again up the side. Ooh, up the side. I'll just take away that pencil mark because I don't need that. And then glue those 2 flaps down, and these are going to be your first and last pages of your little book. So let's close that like that, and then this page gets stuck over the top of that first flap. So if your flap's not very straight like mine, it just means that it covers that little flap. So on this one I'm just going to ink around the edges of the back of this. But sometimes, you know, if you've got like nice, I've still got some almost like a parchment paper card. I think I got it from the paper mill shop. I might have got some from Create and Craft 1,000 years ago when it wasn't horrible Create and Craft. And that would make a really nice envelope book because you don't necessarily have to decorate the pages on those either, just ink them. Okay, so that's going to be stuck over the top of that page. So all I'm going to do is just glue that. You've still got mice, Glynis, I thought you got that sorted out. Well, you might as well just make a little house for them. Make some little furniture, get them all entertained. Get a little telly in there for them. So it makes a little flap page on the first page. Open it up to second page, you've got pocket, third page pocket, and then the back page you sort of duplicate what you do on the first page by sticking the flap down on that side so that your little flap opens out like that. So nice little bit of glue. Ink it first. But it also makes this a really quick little project as well. So line that up with your edge. Let's just give that a little crease. Because it's more like paper rather than cardstock, it's got a little bit more give when I'm trying to make it a little bit straighter. So there we have the structure of our little book. Yep, so we've got first page at the front, and then it flips out, you've got a pocket, and then another page. You open it out, you've got a pocket, you've got a pocket, open it out, you've got a page, you've got a pocket, and then you've got a page at the back. Bish bash bosh, really quick, really quick. Okay, so to finish it, I need a little cover. So for the cover, what I'm going to do is get a piece of, now I'm going to use thicker card for this because I want it a little bit firmer. So let me find some nice thick card. Oh gosh, that's my headphones gone. Right, let's just find my card. Thanks, Jill. Right, come on, card. Reveal yourself. Oh, Jill, never, ever, ever tidy. Don't ever do it. Don't ever do it. Right, come on, card. I did a massive tidy up, and I don't know what I've done with this stuff. Right, there it is. Oh, blimey, Riley. Oh, there we go. Kitty Perry was absolutely bonkers last night, and he chased Waffle, so Waffle knocked a ton of stuff off my cupboard. But we're all right. Hi, Sarah John. Hello, you all right, lovely lady? So the easiest way to measure for the cover is just to measure the front of it, which is about 4 inches, and the height of it, which is about 5 1/4 inches. So I need to measure across. I'll do it about 4 1/4 inches. By 5 1/4. So that's 4 1/4 for the first half of my cover by 5 1/4. So that should fit. Yeah. And then, oh, I'm glad you're home then, Karen, because we can I'll get sorted out with a coffee date with you next week or so. So it's 1/2 inch, but I want to add another 1/2 inch, so 1/4 inch on either side, and it just means I could perhaps put a pocket on the front of this with other bits and pieces. So this is going to be measured to 1 inch now. So the spine at the minute is 1/2 inch. I want to add 1/4 inch on either side to give me room for any pockets front and back. So that makes that 1 inch for my spine. So 1/4 inch, 1 inch, 1/4 inch to 1 inch. So that's my inch spine, like that. And then another 4 1/4 inches for the back page of the cover. 4 1/4 inches, 4 1/4 inches, and this will just wrap round that the pocket page of the journal. Just like that. Absolutely coffee date on the horizon. So this one I will add some of the nice scrapbook paper to, but I'll also ink around the edges first. But let me just score down here. Gosh, that's straight for me for a change. There we go. So that's my cover, and just make sure that that fits in. So that will just sit nicely on the inside of that. So let's get all of this nicely inked. Facebook now keeps going to adverts for craft cutting till, oh blimey. We don't say anything, do we, on these lives, because it keeps coming up with different adverts, doesn't it? Oh, yes, the next retreat dates, I will tell you them now, but that's on my admin list of things to do. I was going to do a poster with all the dates, but I'll actually tell you in a second. Drum roll in a second. Let me just ink this and then I'll release the Kraken, release the dates. I've already got some bookings already on them, so just saying, hashtag just saying. So just inking around, but I am going to use the nice rosy scrapbook paper on this. Oh, I'll tell you what I've also got this week as well. I did buy some of the Prima Alice in Wonderland stuff from Laura. Because I got the mould a while ago, I thought I might as well get the papers. And I've got some of the journaling cards as well. They are beautiful. Really lovely for a front cover of a book. So no doubt I'll be doing something more with those in the next few weeks. I've also got my first official joining the DT, that's crafty, next week on Wednesday with a project. It's like a picture project with the instructions and what I've used. And then I think I'm back doing my live on Tuesday with That's Crafty at 11. Because I couldn't make it last time. Right, so that's the cover. Let me just get my diary and let me get you the retreat dates. Right, let's find my diary. That's under there. Okie dokie. Right, retreat then. So the next retreat, are you ready? Is the 27th to the 29th of June, and that will be our summer themed retreaty. So the 27th to the 29th of June. The one after that one will be the 26th to the 28th of September. The 26th to the 28th of September. And that one will be autumn themed. And then the Christmas themed retreat will be the 7th to the 9th of November. The 7th to the 9th of November for the Christmas retreat. So you've got 3 more chances this year. So that's very exciting. So just to reiterate, 27th to 29th of June, 26th to the 28th of September, and the 7th to the 9th of November. And there we go. And I think I might sneeze in a second. Excuse me. Sorry about that. I do apologise. That was very rude, but I couldn't help it. Something's in the air because Steve was sneezing earlier. He's just taken some antihistamine, so he'll be knocked out for count now for the next 12 hours. I might be finishing tea. It's at Thornton Cleveley's, Connie, which is just on the Fylde coast. So you're straight up the M6 and you come off near Preston, and then it's just a hop, skip and a jump just near Preston up to the Fylde coast near Blackpool. And there is lifts if necessary from train stations. People can collect you from Preston. We've also had people collecting from airports, so we've got lifts from Liverpool Airport or Manchester Airport. Yeah, and we do have people coming up from the south. We'll try and get 10 people in Helen's camper van for next time. So that's very exciting. Yes, please, June and November. Right, darling? Let's put you on to list. Okay, right, let's crack it. Oh, look at the state of that. That's rubbish, that inking. Okay, so this can now be stuck into my little... Look at the state of that. It's so not straight. Oh, am I bothered? Am I bothered? No, I'm not bothered. So, as always, a little bit of double-sided sticky tape first. And I'll put that down the centre of my spine, and then I'll know where I need to stick my glue on either side of that. So a little bit of glue, just a little bit because I don't want to go over, and then a little bit of glue down my spine, and then hover it over top and bottom. I'll just stick that down so it's fairly central. I can just wipe off the excess at the top and the bottom. There we go. So give that a really good press down to make sure that's nice and stuck. And it sits flat as well to be able to fold it backwards and forwards. So that's really easy, a little pocket page album with basically four pages with little pockets in them as well, which I find really quite nice. I know that's not stuck yet, so let's put a bit more glue. So the idea is not to mess with it until it's all stuck down. Okay, so I'm going to start decorating it now with my scrapbook paper. So for this, I'm just going to use my ruler to measure. It's approximately 4 by 5, so it just means I can get 2 sides from each page with extra little bits for any of my little flappy bits that I want to decorate. So it just makes a really quick little journal book. Thank you, Mo. So I know I don't. Oh, double-sided pages make me cry because I have to cut into the back of them. Okay, so I'm never going to use that in 1,000 years. Do you like that ruler, Jill? I've got 3 of them because I kept losing them and then found them. 2 of them are chipped, but this is my Tim Holtz one. I just swear by this, because it has the central line and it also has pokey holes. Especially if you're doing, if I'm doing my Coptic stitching, it just sits nicely on the edge and then I can poke through little holes. So I'm never going to use this side at all, so I'm quite happy to use this side. I'm going to cut it across to 5 inches first so I don't waste that bit of it at the bottom, and then just cut that down in half to 4 inches. Exactly, Denise. I completely agree with you there. They should be made illegal. They should, yeah. I don't know why I didn't get the maxi pad in this. I don't know. So this is really quick to put together. So I think I've got a day of, I might do a lot of resin casting on Sunday. I want to try and make a start on some of my steampunk things because I've got that festival coming up in May. And I want to try and make a start on my fairy festival stuff as well, and then I'm not panicking because I always, whenever I do these things, I never have enough stock, so if I start earlier it'll make a big difference. And then the front, let me decorate that. So I want a nice one for the front and back covers, although I am going to put some flowers on the front and the back covers. See, I won't use that page. So I absolutely quite like this one. so I won't ever use that. So I'm going to use that. So this time I am just going to cut it in half first, and then I can measure up 5 inches. So I need to cut off, because it's 8 inches and I only want it to 5, I'm going to cut it off 1.5 inches from either side of it, and then it just means I'll have an even border around it, because I need to chop off 3 inches in total. So if I get that to 5 inches, it just means I've got the same top and bottom. The same with that one, 1.5. Turn that round, 1.5. And then these little bits are always useful for odd little pockets and tuck spots and things. You know, you could always add them there or in there. You know, they'll always be handy, these. But again, it just means that I can afford to do a little bit of frou-frou on the front of the cover, because the actual scrapbook paper I'm using is sort of quite neutral. It's not got a focal image as such. I can use all my little flowers on the front then to frou-frou it up. Oh gosh, there was so much bling bling in that country baskets yesterday, because, you know, obviously a lot of people use it for weddings, to get the wedding flowers and stuff. I was very tempted by some of the bling bling, but I did get, oh my goodness, I've not brought it out, it's still in the car. It's like a sheet of like beautiful, like almost like little gemstone-y chips type thing, stuck on a mesh. So I mean, I think you can like put it on tables and that. It's like a table piece. So I'm going to use it and cut it down to use as like moss, but I can't describe it because it's like little stones that have been attached flat. Oh, it's only because I've been doing it 1,000 years, Helen. Sometimes my brain doesn't work and I can't do it. But today I feel quite awake. I'm not too bad today. But sometimes it takes me ages and I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I've eaten healthily today, so today's breakfast, I found my spiraliser, which was underneath my cupboard. So I did a oat pancake. So my little, because that's the only way I can eat porridge oats, is mixed with an egg. All right, Connie, see you soon. Philippa Winter McCartney, it's 4 o'clock. You've missed half of it already. I'm not recapping. You'll just have to watch back. So I had oat pancake for breakfast with spiralised apple. Spiraliser, my make is an OXO one. I've had it for a few years, I have to say, but it was I had to give it a good wash. But it was fine. And I had apple and blueberries and yoghurt, so a little bit of sweetener on them. And so my pancake, it's about 40 grams or something of pancake oats, 1 egg, a little tablespoon of sweetener. If you've got vanilla essence, put a little bit of that in. So mix all that in and just fry it on either side. Very, very tasty. And then my yoghurt on the top. It was delish. And then for lunch I had some couscous, vegetable couscous, and I also popped in the air fryer some of my chickpeas, drained, and put them in the air fryer for 20 minutes and added paprika to them. So I had like little nutty things that went in my couscous. And we've got roast chicken for dinner. So very tasty. Right, let's see. I just need a little piece to go down the spine. So I'll use that one. So I just need to cut that to 5 inches by approximately maybe about 3/4 of an inch. So 5 inches across, only so far, and then I'm just gonna make a mark because I want it quite even with that little thing down the middle. That's 1/4 of an inch on that side. So if I cut that to 1/4 of an inch that side, we'll be okay. There we go. And that should do for down the spine. I'll just trim a tiny bit off that. Oh God, I can smell that chicken. So that was measured to about 3/4 of an inch by 5 inches. Oh no, overnight oats. But maybe a nice oat pancake with bacon. That might be lovely, Sarah John. But anyway, by the time I'm at the next retreat, I'll have lost 15 stone, so I'll be fine. I'm trying to be really good this week so I can get my stone next week. Because I did surprise myself with my £3 loss this week after I'd had that massive buffet in Manchester. Oh, overnight oats. Ugh. There's never any need for that. Okay, so that's the front cover, and I've got some lovely little butterflies on there. That's my inside cover. Right, what time are we on, gang? Are we alright for time? It's only 5 to. We're alright for a little bit, aren't we? Okay, so I'm going to start decorating some of these pages. So these are a little bit shorter, so these are going to be around, get off, about 3.5 by 4 3/4. So again, I can get 2 off each, so I need 1 for that side, 1 for that side, 1 for that side, and 1 for that side. So I need 4 pages, so 2 sheets. Okay, so I'll do that one for the front and back. Hello, Deirdre. Oh, thanks, Denise. Thanks, Philippa. So, what did I say? 4 3/4 tall. Or was it 4.5? 4.5, wasn't it? Four and 3/4 it was. Hi Dee, you alright, lovely? By 3.5. 4 3/4 by 3.5. So that one and that one, and it just means I've still got a little strip left. Oh, broccoli and cheese flan, that sounds tasty. That's a nice big piece, that, to go on a flap or something. Gosh, that sounds delicious. So I have just earlier give the dates out for the next set of retreats, but I will put a little poster together after I've had my tea and put them up so that people can start reserving places. So that can be put on the first page there. That's just beautiful. But what I'm going to do, before I stick that down, I'm going to create a little pocket with that. So I'm going to turn it sideways, and around there I'm just going to mark myself a little line across. So about 1/2 inch from the edge, and just draw a little line, and then get my little ruler and my little paper knife, wherever you may be. There it is. I'm just going to trim a little line. So just between those 2 points, I've just made a little cut there. So let me ink the edge of that. And then this is going to get stuck on the front page now. So I'm going to glue it. So that's the top of the page. So I'm going to glue the top and then just around the bottom edge, so that when my tag goes in, it's got room to sit at the bottom. So when you're doing these like split page pockets, don't glue the wrong side, glue the top, not the bottom, because the bottom has to be free. So a nice bit of glue around there, and then just around the bottom, and then that can stick on the front page. And I'm going to just squish it up a little bit, just so that's flapping a little bit rather than pushing it really tight. I need a little bit of give in that bottom section, just so that my little tags can sit in it, okay? And then I'm going to do the same for the page on the back. Yeah, so that's going to be exactly the same. So let me just measure where I did it, because I just did it randomly, of course I did. So I did that at 2 3/4 up. So 2 3/4 up, and then I'll turn it that way, and then 1/2 inch from each side. So 1/2 inch, 1/2 inch, draw my line, and then be very careful, just cut yourself a little line across, give it a little inky edge, and then it means that you can see it on your page. And then don't forget, stick the top and the sides. She is D, and the November one, I think. It's just the September one she can't make. So that's a very exciting. I think Jason should do like little comedy little road trips in the camper van in between the workshops, you know, like a little joyride up and down the seafront. That'd be fun, wouldn't it? So I'm just pushing that up a little bit so there's a bit of give, and then stick that down like that. And these any of these little bits as well, I'm going to put down the edge here as well, just a little slither of scrapbook paper down there, just to hide all those little white bits at the side. It's up to you, but I've got a pocket there and a pocket there. Oh no, Deirdre, it's just that I think it's because Helen was a bit of an adult supervisor for D, because we had to have a few adult supervisors this time, because obviously we can't leave Gillian and Ginny on their own, especially not with magnets, and Dee needs like a full-time adult supervisor, doesn't she, on these retreaties. Yeah, so I can cut some of that down, I think, and just pop it down the side, or one of the longer pieces. I'll sort that out later. Right, so I need another 2 pages, one for that page and one for that page. Oh, waffle wheeler. Steve. Oh, let me just throw something at Steve. Waffle's been a very naughty boy. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Right, bear with me 1 second.
Yeah. Okay.
Is that better? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me? They can hear me. Yes, that's better. Apologies for that. Apologies for that. Sorry about that. Just to keep you on your toes, make sure you're all still awake. I'm not saying nothing, Dee. No, sometimes it happens when Steve's computer goes dead a little bit, if it goes to sleep, like Steve does. It does go off a little bit. But it's fine, we're back. Oh, well, it's Mo then. It's Mo. I think it's Mo's fault that time. We'll blame you, Mo, for that one, lovely. You silly sausage. I love that, you silly sausage. I love that. I love these little phrases. Okay, let's get that page. Oh gosh, I panicked then. I thought I'd done my book upside down. Look, somebody has to take the blame. Oh, Mo, are you there now? Are you still there? Are you still there, Mo? Oh no. So that can go in there. Obviously, if you don't want quite a big border, you can do it right to the edge if you want, and it'll just hide those little bits at the bottom. But I am quite alright with that, with just those extra little bits. It's fine and dandy. I just need to perhaps ink around the envelope a little bit more as well. Oh, that's lovely, Dee. I'm glad you got to use some of the techniques. All right, Mo, I'll see you later, lovely. Bye-bye, lovely. Bye. Oh, poor Mo. I didn't mean it when I said I blamed Mo. It was only a tease, but I think she knows that. Okay, so I just need to decorate now these extra little pockety bits. So what I'm going to use is some of these little extra strips that I've got. All right, see you later. Oh gosh, he needs a brew. Show him the kettle, tell him you've got some crafting to watch. No, I'll see you later, Jackie. So what I'm going to do is just trim from these. I'm just going to trim a couple of little strips just to go inside these pockets. So these are going to be the 4 3/4 size again, because they'll just slot inside those pockets. So let's cut these down to 4 3/4. So it just means I can use up all my little scrap bits, and then I'm going to cut these in half. So these will be around just over 1.5. So they're 1.5 and 1/8, which is 1 5/8, isn't it, when I went to school. And they will just slot just inside that little section there. So it just means I'm not wasting these extra little pages that I've got. So that one on that page, and then that one can go in that one. She's got to get to find it yet, Philippa. You haven't seen that garage. My goodness me. You need a map to get through it. It's like something from an Indiana Jones film. A bit like my Shed of Doom. And then I've got those 2 strips for the other side. So I'll give those a little ink. Philippa went to McCartney's on a visitation, aren't you? Oh gosh, your caravan, Sarah John, that needs a good turf out, doesn't it, Mrs? Desperate to know what's in there. I bet you forgot. Hi Michelle, you alright, lovely? And let's just slot that one in there. Just like that. And then I'm going to cut that down a little bit, just so that can go down that little section there. So let's just mark it. It's about 1/4 of an inch, something like that. Can go down the centre. And that bit there. And then all I need to do now is put some paper over this. So I'm going to get my template, and I'm going to use my template as a little guide to measure the paper for this. I know, Dee, because I don't want to waste this paper because it's just so lovely. It's just so lovely, isn't it? So for the side pieces, I can use these little oddments here. So I can just fill in this little section here with a little, just like a little scrap there of this little side piece here. Yep, so I'm going to use that as a little template. So I need to cut 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 of these little triangles. It doesn't matter what they look like because most of them are going to be covered. So if I use that as the first one, it doesn't matter if they're upside down, back to front. I'm just going to cut 8 of them. 1, 2. Let's fold that over and make it quicker, won't it? Three, 4, and then another 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'll do for 1. 5. All right, Jill. See you later. 6, 7, and then that little bit on the end we'll do as number 8. There we go. So that's used up that little piece. Okay, let's see what they look like stuck on. Very random. Right, so that's just going to get stuck on like that. So it's just to fill that little corner bit because the rest of it is going to have some scrapbook paper anyway that's going to cover the rest of it. So these just get stuck on quite randomly just to fill that corner bit up. There we go, there we go. So they don't have to be dead straight. All they're doing is just covering a multitude of sins. La 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 la. Dee 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 dee. It's a bit like Tetris trying to find the right angle to stick them onto. And if it's not quite the right angle, just cut it, cut it. That'll do. 1, 2, last 2. Bopping away to Phil Collins, gosh. I heard Phil Collins for ages. I liked his studio phase. I like that one. I've got that album. Okay, right. Alright, Kim. See you later, lady. Have a nice weekend. Don't be drinking too much. So now I need 4 pieces that will fit this section. So that will be about 2 3/4 by 4 3/4, but I'm going to do it slightly longer just so it covers these little edges. So 2 3/4 by just over 4 3/4. So let's find another sheet of this. Gosh, that's a bit weird, isn't it? I think I'll keep that for an inside cover jobber. It's a very odd sheet, but that's quite nice. Okay, I'd use that for an inside sheet. They'll do for my little tags. I think I will use this one. So I needed, what was it? Just over 4 3/4. Just over 4 3/4 by a smidgen. Right, let me just work this out because I want to have my pages the right way. So they're going to be 2 3/4 that way, aren't they? Yes, 4 3/4 that way. And then what did I say? 2 3/4. Okay. So that's 1, 2, and then let's get another sheet. All the rest can be put into. Oh, did you? Oh, dear. It's a tricky road to go down, isn't it? But I have to say, I've just ordered some moss from Temu. Right, 4 3/4, just over, and then 2 3. Oh, I don't want to get the bird. I don't want to chop the bird's head off. So 2 3/4. I might just have to cut the bird's head off. Oh, I don't want to cut the bird's head off. Do you know what? I'm not. I'm going to do it this way. Very naughty, but I didn't want to chop the bird off. Can't make me do it. So I've got some lovely little scraps there that I can use. Okay, so that will go there. On that one. I might do that one on there because that's quite plain. Okay, so let's ink around this. Oh, and I did also get some beads as well for my little crocheted danglers. That sounds ominous, doesn't it? Right, so just where I've got my little notch there, I'm just going to make a little mark there and there so that I know where to put my little hole punch. So I'm just going to mark just that little notch so that when I put that on, it's just going to be the right area for my little notch. So I'll just ink in my notch. Oh, well, I need ones with big eyes, big holes, just so I can thread wool through them, because some of them I've got, they're not quite thingy enough, but I will have a little rummage, RD, when I'm at yours. I will have a little rummage. So that's that pocket page, and then I've got the little bird can go either side there, so let's just mark for my little thingy. Danglers. I'll have to ink. Let's get that back in top. Okay, that's better. That's better, better, better. So I'm not going to do all the inserty bits. I'm just going to finish the front cover so you can get to see that. And then I will just spend a little bit of time later tonight just finishing all the little pockety bits and the inserts and stuff. Exactly, Shelley, yeah. I was just looking at some outfits as well on Shine and Temu for me steampunk weekend. That's not till May though. Pop that on there. And then the last one is that one? No, it can't be that one there. That's too short. There we go. So let's just mark that one. There we go. Oh no, I'm not far off finishing, Helen, but you'll have to watch the cover bit on catch up, Mrs. I'll try and be quick, but I don't think I'll be that quick. I'm ready for my tea. That chicken smells gorgeous. I think we're just doing it with chips and green beans. So you've nearly finished that bear, haven't you, Philippa? Philippa went to McCartney. There we go. So that's my book decorated. I'll maybe just put, I don't know, I might put extra little, no, I don't need to put anything extra. I might just put a little strip down at there and there. But that's my book. I've got a pocket page there. I've got a little insert there. Insert there, insert there, insert there, pocket there, and then I have got the little cut-out bits. So some of these, the little cutouts, I might well decorate some of these little pages that have very little detail. I'll just pop a few little roses out. But what I'm going to do now is decorate this front cover, and I've got my gorgeous flowers. So I'll have to leave these to dry anyway before I finish off the inside covers. But I'm going to use my gel medium. I've still got this 13 Arts one that I used the other night. So I'm going to use that, and then let's just stretch over and get my new flowers. Very exciting. I'm like a kid in a sweet shop. It was so lovely. So I've got a little selection there to cut up. So I'm not going to use loads, but this will last me a very, very long time. So let me cut myself some fern off. That can go back over there. Let me cut myself one of them, but I don't think I'll use all of them. Let me cut myself a bit of that, and I'll throw that over there, and then cut myself a bit of them and throw that over there. Okay, so I have a selection of these glorious little flowers. They're just beautiful, just beautiful. So that's a bit big. So all I'm going to do is just chop some of these down. Chop the little knob bits off the end just so they're a little bit flatter. and I'm just going to start to build up a little ensemblage with my gel medium. So I'll be quite quick with this. I've got a little spatula jobber that I will apply. So I'm literally just going to slather a little bit on. Hot glue gun is okay as well, but I want them as sort of as flat as I can as they're stuck on the page. I'm going to get a few little of these little fronds. It is an ensemblage. A little bit of gel medium wiped on the back of these. Stick them down. These little bits that are cut off, they can get stuck in the background. So it is literally just building up a little flowered little bit. Chop the end off. Stick them down. So you do need a really nice gel medium for this, or your hot glue gun, because it has to have a real good grip for everything to stick down. So I'm just building those up as a little trio, and then I've got these that I call my little fillers that we can just sort of stick randomly. Let me just come in a little bit now. All right, darling, see you soon. Bye bye. Bye bye. I'm using the 13 Arts Heavy Body Gel medium, but it's exactly the same as the Pentart one that I've used before and we used on the Retreat D. It's just I had this to hand. My other stuff's still in the Retreat box, so I haven't yet unloaded it. But it's just, as you can see, it's a really thick, gloopy gel that gives a permanent fit to your little projects. It's the same as a hot glue gun really, but I don't like using that as much because I find that can sometimes come a little bit unstuck. So all I'm doing, I'm just using my spatula just to wipe a little bit and then just tucking in the little gaps just to create that little sort of 3D-ness, and any little gaps I can just shove other little flowers behind. Right, let me just wipe that away. And I've got these are ones that I got from that little recycling place in Leeds. So I got a massive couple of bags of these. These are nice little ones as well to shove in the background. So I did use these on the little gnome book on the front of that. So again, these can just sort of shove under and shove round. They just, I call them like little filler leaves. And then these little things, but my goodness, see, they'll just pop off the little ends. They're just like little plastic ends. So if you pop them off, just a little bit of glue on them. And then again, these are like your the little flower fillers where you just want to hide some of your gluey gubbins, because you don't want too much gluey gubbins showing, do you? So I've almost done this. Oh gosh, I've got gel medium absolutely everywhere. Some of the flowers are very delicate, so you might just need to use a pair of tweezers or something like that. But they're just lovely just to fill in. And I think I'll just put one of them towards the top. So these were, each of these little stems were not very dear, but you get absolutely tons off each one. So sometimes, you know, in like Home Bargains and B&M Bargains, they do these like artificial bouquets, especially for Mother's Day, and they're not very expensive. They're really nice to cut up and use for the little flowers for the front covers of your journals. So do have a look rather than going to, you know, Hobbycraft and trying to get the individual flower packs, because they work out really expensive, where, you know, just a little bouquet. I've got one for my mum for Mother's Day. But if I wanted to, I could cut that up and use it as a little, as the little flowers. So even these they just snap off, and they can just be added behind for a little bit of extra frou-frou. But then I've nearly done. That can just shove behind there. Add that little extra bit on top of it to add the little top of my fern. There we go, just to overlap that a little bit. And I think that's my flower usage sorted. So I just want something now that will just go on the front of that. But how pretty does that look? Really delicate looking. Doesn't it look pretty, that? Let's just chop that bit off there, and let's just destroy the whole display by chopping that bit off. Get off. Let's pop a little bit more glue down there. You have to whisper when you do it because it's very delicate work. Let's wipe my excess off. So those big, I've still got all of those little flowers now and leaves and fronds to use for something else. So that can just, I'll get a little box together for that. Put my jar lid back on, and then let's just see what I've got in that paper pack that I can use just on the front. I don't know, maybe nothing in this bit. Oh, I've got something, let's have a look. Right, let's just cut the side off this. Get that out. So even though it's like a rose collection, I've sort of just themed it with the colours that we're using, but it doesn't necessarily have to be a rose on the front of it. Oh, that's really pretty. Oh, I love that. Love it on rose. So I'm going to use this little choppy out bit here. Think. That little love, I'm going to ink all the way around it. And that can just be stuck just there at the side. I think that's rather lovely. Rather lovely. There we go. That can just be stuck just so it overlaps the two lines there, and just hidden a little bit by those flowers. But there we have our little envelope journal. Really quick, nice and easy. Don't they look lovely? Let's just put the camera up a little bit more. But there we are, guys. That's today's little delightful little live. So I'll finish it off once those have dried properly, and but I'll add all my little extra little bits and pieces to it. But a nice little envelope journal, just using my journaling templates, Juniors 1 and the big envelope, and I'll use the insert page for the insides. So there we are. So thank you so much for watching. I'll be back on Monday night for Crafting Together, I think, and then Tuesday for That's Crafty Creatives. Yay, Michelle. So yeah, get your Journaling Juniors out if you haven't got them. I'll put the links on for everything I've used. But there we go. Thanks, Michelle. But a nice little chunky make, because you know me, I like my little chunky makes. But quite a nice, easy make, and it's quite substantial, to be honest, because I've used cardstock for the outside. There we go. So have a lovely weekend, everybody. Ginny, I might see you tomorrow. It's at Slime with Hest Memorial Hall, a little crafty D stash. I don't know who will be there or what sort of stuff. I've just managed to get a last minute table. So I'll see you all later. Bye, everybody. Thanks, Steve. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.